Hello everyone. Hello and thank all of you for participating in this stream, for your attention. I guess I'm online now. Unfortunately, about 30 minutes ago there was some issues with the internet, but I checked a few minutes ago and the speed was okay, so hopefully there will be no technical issues. So yes, let's start. This is traditional Sunday live stream, which is basically for us, for our community, to exchange some opinions, to have some friendly chat. Although, of course, as always, I will start live stream with news. I will share with you some latest news, and then I will go through chat, and if I see a question, I will try to answer. If I can, I will just ask you, if you are new, that if you can please write a question with capital Q before a question, or entire question with capital letters, so that I will notice it easier. So yes, that's been said. Once again, thank you all for your attention, and of course many thanks to all the members of our community who will watch this live stream or this video in recording later on. And well, I can see I'm online. So yes, let's start with the news. And first of all, dear friends, I will share with you this video, which is about another 4th Abrams tank that was destroyed in the zone of special military operation. As you can see, this is clearly, we all see photos and videos of previous 3 destroyed Abrams tanks, and this one is clearly new one, and it's clearly Abrams. Russian soldiers right there next to tank are making some selfies. Well, quite risky move, I guess, but well, it is what it is. So yes, that's kind of little breaking news for this moment. Although we have also another breaking news, which is that, and I did share on my Telegram this information, that, well, according to a number of sources, the commander-in-chief of the Russian Navy, Admiral Nikolai Evmenov, has been dismissed from his post. This is Evmenov, this individual, and he was replaced by Admiral Alexander Moiseev. He was commander of the Northern Fleet of Russian Federation. So this person is a new head of Russian Navy. Excuse me, yet again, unofficial sites or media outlets, I did not see information about it, but many big channels reported this news on Telegram. So I guess information is correct. I can check right now in real time. For example, let's see if RT is reporting about it. For now, nothing here. Let's see if RIA Novosti has information about it, but no. Also no information on RIA Novosti. And let's see if TASS has anything about changes in leadership of Russian Navy. And also seems like nothing here. But yet again, because big channels reported this news, I guess information is correct, and for tomorrow we will have official confirmation of this news. And well, now let's go through some additional information that Russian media was paying attention to during the day. And first of all, RIA Novosti's report that head of Polish foreign ministry, who is making headlines nowadays on a regular basis, made another quite interesting statement. He said that NATO troops already are in Ukraine, deployed, although he did not specify which NATO countries send its military personnel into Ukraine. we can have an informed guess. Of course, it's France, it's United Kingdom. And by the way, United Kingdom, leadership of United Kingdom did say openly that they have some military person into Ukraine and they have no plans to send additional forces. So UK is one country that officially made it clear that they have some forces into Ukraine, although they did not say that these troops are participating in the military operations. US has its military specialists in Ukraine, and Poland 100%. And same we can say about Germany, especially if these rumors about deliveries of Taurus is correct. And as I said, quite a big and well-informed names in this field of news and political commentary made statements, experts by the way, that according to the information, Taurus missiles already been delivered to Kiev regime. And that means that German military specialists also are have been sent into Ukraine. So quite interesting statement from Polish foreign minister. What is his name? Sikorski, yes, Radoslav Sikorski, extreme Russophobe, by the way, extreme Russophobe. One that openly thanks US for attacks on Nord Stream pipelines. Shameless person, by the way. But information is quite interesting. After all, leadership of Germany came under fire from some other Western states because they disclose information about deployment of NATO troops into Ukraine. And let's see if Warsaw will receive some heat from major European capitals. And of course, Russian side reacted on this information. And official representative of Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova, stated today that, statements of Sikorsky about NATO militaries in Ukraine is this statement highlights, according to Zakharova, that NATO no longer able to hide their presence or presence of their troops into Ukraine. Yes, this is, I guess, correct. No strong words from Russian Foreign Ministry, at least for now. Maybe because they are not really surprised. Russian side knows for a while now that there are NATO troops into Ukraine, and basically one should ask question why Western leadership is risking so much with this extremely anti-Russian actions, extremely escalatory steps that can potentially provoke full-scale confrontation between Russia and NATO, which will, of course, transformed into nuclear exchange, and that will be end of everything. So at this point, I guess only reason why we are not in the world war already and there are no nuclear weapons flying all around this world, only reason for that is that Russian leadership is acting extremely cautiously, and they are realizing that responsibility for entire world is laying now on the shoulders of Moscow. That's, I mean, you tell me if you disagree with me, but any other leader, by the way, instead of current leadership of Russia, may act very differently, and that will mean that we would be in a direct full-scale war by now. Or maybe entire world would be destroyed, even. Scary times, what can I say? Also, by the way, RIA Novosti's report that about CNN, US propaganda outlet, who devoted some time to to Ukraine, and well, they said they interviewed some military personnel of Ukrainian armed forces, and they said that well, Russian FAB 1500 glide bombs are a menace on the line of contact, and basically these immensely powerful bombs, obviously this is 500 means that's the weight of that bomb, and from 1500, sorry, at least 1,000 kilograms, if not more, are explosives. So can you imagine scale of destruction that these bombs can deal on the ground? And well, CNN's report was focused on these glide bombs that are not just destroying strongholds of Ukrainian armed forces and causing immense casualties among manpower, but also psychologically influencing Ukrainian soldiers, because yes, there is nowhere to hide from these bombs. Nothing can save you if you end up in an area of explosion of this munition. Not really anything that we did not knew for now, but it's interesting that CNN is reporting about it. Also, dear friends, probably you already heard about this news that Pope, head of Catholic Church, urges Ukraine to negotiate. Let's go through some sentences here. So, Ukrainian government should find the courage to end the conflict with Russia through negotiations. Pope Francis told Switzerland's RSI news agency in an interview published on Saturday. Host Lorenzo Busella asked the pontiff about those calling for courage of surrender and the white flag, and those arguing that surrendering would legitimize the use of force on the international arena. It's one interpretation, the Pope said, but I think that the strongest one is the one who sees the situation, who thinks about the people and has the courage of the white flag, and the one who negotiates. So basically, I mean, and also quote, by the way, when you see that you are defeated, that things are not going well, you have to have the courage to negotiate, Pope added. And of course, Kyiv regime did not receive these statements of head of Catholic Church well. From this morning, by the way, I was seeing on different channels some crazy statements from Ukraine, and I was kind of confused. I was thinking, what is wrong with these guys, these ones? I mean, they are always coming up with some craziness, these so-called elites of Ukraine, but to attack head of Catholic Church, I mean, it's too much. I was thinking that's too much even for these idiots that are leading Ukraine, modern Ukraine. And only little later I did see this information that Pope basically urged Ukraine leadership to start negotiations, to acknowledge their real situation, and to, you know, basically wave white flag. And he did not use the word surrender, but, you know, to basically cease end hostilities. Practical advice, undoubtedly practical advice from Vatican, but of course Kyiv regime not gonna listen to this, and we have a official statement from Ukraine, head of foreign ministry of this failed state or quasi-state, Dmitry Kuleba, also commented on the Pope's statements, and he said that Ukraine has its own flag and has no intention to fly any other, meaning that they are not thinking about deploying white flag. And that also means that Kyiv regime is not considering any negotiations at all. Okay, it's their choice. It's their choice. I will argue that at this point, Ukrainian society have to really wake up. Ukrainian society was devastated because of their criminal actions of their leadership. And I mean, it's too late, of course, to wake up now, but it's better to wake up late than never, before even bigger damage have been done to Ukrainian society by this criminal leadership that they have, Zelensky and the rest of them, including this so-called foreign minister of Ukraine, Kuleba, some clown, by the way, that should never be allowed to get close to position of power, but he's a foreign minister. What you gonna say? And RIA Novosti's report, which is based on information that was published by Forbes magazine, according to which, to replace destroyed Patriot systems, Kiev regime will need, in best case scenario, at least half a year, in worst case scenario, several years, which effectively means that Kiev regime not going to receive any additional systems of this type, at least Patriot. I don't know if Forbes is coming from, maybe they have some internal information or inside information from Pentagon, but well, recently there were many instances when Russian armed forces successfully targeted S-300 remnants, whatever is left from Ukraine's air defense systems, S-300, Buk M1, and also Iris-Ts and Patriots. Just a few days ago, 2 Patriot batteries were targeted and destroyed. So, and that's this information is coming from. So yes, quite interesting. Of course, if Washington wants to deploy some additional batteries of Patriot, they can do it. US definitely has in storage another, I don't know, 3, 5, 10 Patriot batteries that theoretically can be delivered to Kiev regime. But will Washington do this? That's a big question mark there. I don't think so, really. They may give to Kiev regime another 1 or 2 batteries, maybe, and that's it. Also, RIA Novosti's report that according to Defense Minister of Germany, there is a hole in the defense budget of Bundeswehr for 2025, and this hole is no less than 6 billion, by the way. 6 billion euros, which is even more dollars, like 6.1, 6 point, I don't know exact exchange rate right now between euro and dollars, but 6 billion euros is definitely significantly more than 6 billion dollars. Interesting news, especially nowadays when we see how much funds current leadership of Germany is spending for Kiev regime. And they are same time they are acknowledging that they have a hole in the defense budget for 6 billion euros. What is wrong with these people, man? I don't know. But it is what it is. Crazy. Also, by the way, RT's report here, Israeli side responded on strong statements from Erdogan when he compared the leadership of Israel with the Nazi leadership of Italy and Germany during the Second World War. And, well, let me read this sentence here. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan ranks among the worst anti-Semites in history because of his stance on the Gaza conflict. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz has claimed, well, this is not serious when leaders of countries are straight up insulting each other, and that's the level of communication between them. But yet again, that's the times that we are living in, and this type of stuff would not be possible, I guess, like 20-30 years ago, because people used to have some etiquette, manners, you know, used to act a little more serious. People that were in position of power, because they knew that's how they have to act, because people is watching. And nowadays they are calling each other names like it's you know, like they are on the street, and and are arguing over some issues. This is crazy, man. This is... RT is reporting also that US threatens UK bank, or not UK, but EU bank, by the way, with the sanctions. One day Washington may threaten UK's banks also, for whatever reason, not connected with Russia, obviously, but they might find some reasons if they want to. But in this particular case, Austria's Raiffeisen Bank International, the biggest foreign lender in Russia, risks being cut off from the US financial system if it is found to have helped fund Russian military, according to US Treasury Department, as cited by Reuters. Raiffeisen Bank is still operating here in Russia, I believe, because I saw several times their offices in Moscow. And there were some rumors that they are planning to leave Russia, but this time period when they're gonna leave was extended once, twice, third times. And well, they are playing clever. The leadership of this bank definitely plays clever game, and if they will manage to maintain their presence in Russia and same time avoid the Western sanctions somehow, well, of course they're gonna use this situation in their benefit, and one day, of course, relationships between Russia and Western states probably will get somewhat better, at least reach working relationships, and Western banks will try to return in Russia. For that moment, Raiffeisen will be, I mean, on top of the game among foreign financial institutions, and no other foreign bank will be able to become a real competitor to them. So let's see how it will go. And this is several news that I was thinking to share with you for the start. And now let's go through some questions. And once again, dear friends, thank you all for participating in this stream, and of course many thanks to all the members of our community who will watch this video in recording later on. And well, I can see questions here, although before I continue, dear friends, if I may, let me remind you that you can ask question also through, and same time support this small media project of mine or my work. You can ask question through what is that name of platform? Donation alerts, by the way. You can see link under this video in description box, or you can I mean, if you can ask question through a Buy Me Coffee. Link is also in the description box, and I will constantly check both these platforms. If I see any question or comment, I will of course try to answer to those questions. First of all, I'm checking right now, so no questions here. So yes, that's been said. Let's go through some questions in the chat. And James Silver is asking, hi LG, what's your opinion of what Macron has been saying and many others saying the opposite? Well, when it comes to Macron, it seems to me that leadership of France is extremely upset because recently there was a strike in Kharkov when over 70 French militaries that were disguised as mercenaries were neutralized, and a few dozen were wounded. After that, leadership of France started acting very strangely, politely to be said, very strangely. And recently Macron came up with this hawkish statements to deploy troops of NATO into Ukraine. I guess in one hand Macron and his government maybe are trying to legalize presence of French forces into Ukraine, and which will help them to deal with the legal issues when it comes to, for example, losses among French military personnel. Because those 70 or whatever number is French military that was killed in Kharkov, what French government have to say their family members? How these people die and where? They cannot say that these people were in Ukraine. They cannot say to family members that those people were mercenaries, because they knew those people were in French army. So how they become mercenaries without anybody is not knowing this from their families? So that's one issue, legal stuff. In other hand, I guess all these talks about deploying NATO troops into Ukraine is beginning of the preparation of the ground for occupation of Western Ukraine. I spoke many times in my updates, maybe even too many times, about my take on fate of Ukraine. I believe Western Ukraine will end up under NATO control and the rest of the Ukraine under Russian control, although I was always leaving like 1% slight chance that Kiev and surrounding areas will remain as a landlocked quasi-state under the name of Ukraine. And I guess for now this slight chance become a little bit bigger after Dmitry Medvedev recently gave that speech during the marathon of Knowledge Society. And when a map was presented behind him, in which Ukraine was on the map just as Kiev and surrounding areas. All of you probably did see that map. And yes, I guess all these talks about NATO troops into Ukraine is a preparation of the ground for occupation of the Western Ukraine. I don't think they will go any further eastwards in the central Ukraine or southern Ukraine. I just don't see it coming, but well, anything is possible really. But in my opinion, we are definitely dealing here with the preparation of the ground for occupation by NATO of the Western Ukraine. And of course, after time, Poland will claim its historical territories that used to be part of Poland before Second World War. Hungary will probably claim Transcarpathia region, and Romania will claim some areas of Ukraine that used to be part of Romania, although I don't think Moscow will agree Romania to establish control over the southern territories of modern Ukraine that are Odessa region right now and used to be part of Romania previously. Probably Romania will get some northern regions, northern areas that are part of Ukraine, and that's it. I don't think Moscow will allow them to establish control over the southern parts. Although, I mean, of course, I cannot know for sure. I mean, it's only time will tell. Also, question what GLL Ratnik is asking question. What are your thoughts on the leadership change in the Russian Navy and the Army? I did not see any reports about changes in the leadership of Army. There are no changes there, as I understand. I will, of course, check news again, and if I see some additional information, I will share in tomorrow's first update. But I definitely see informations about changes in the leadership of Navy. I spoke about this topic in the beginning of this live stream, and well, just recently, leader of Black Sea Fleet was changed. Black Sea Fleet of Russian Federation received new commander. Now, most likely changes will happen on the level of leadership of Navy itself, entire Navy. Yet again, let me check once again if there is a confirmation of on Russian news agencies, but no, for this moment I did not see any confirmation of this information main news agencies here in Russia. So probably for tomorrow we will have official confirmation of this news. Well, whatever the case, question is what I think about it. I mean, changes are coming, by the way. Changes are coming to the Russian Navy. I guess maybe President of Russian Federation was not happy with some stuff. Well, new leaders will have new tasks. Well, let's see how they will perform. What expectations can I have? I mean, usually when changing leadership is happening, it's two possible scenarios. One is that person is just retiring because he just don't feels anymore in a position to lead this or that institution, and the other one is that political leadership is not happy with something and making changes to achieve some improvements. And I believe there will be some improvements, by the way. Of course, we can tie these changes with the situation with the Black Sea, because quite a number of warships were damaged, few boats were sunk, with according to rumors, by the way, because officially Russian side didn't acknowledge, if I'm not mistaken, any of it. Well, of course, Moscow is not happy with the current situation, and some ways have to be found to make sure that Black Sea Fleet is more protected and more capable. Also, question. Nidish Kumar is asking, can Taurus missiles carry nuclear warheads? Well, I'm not expert I'm not military expert. I cannot know for sure, but I guess so. Most likely, yes. Although I cannot know for sure, but range 500 kilometers. Whenever you have this type of range, 500 and more, that gives you some understanding that this is something close to strategic weapon system. And whenever we are dealing with strategic weapon systems, usually all of them are nuclear capable. So I guess US has some warheads that can fit into Taurus, because Germany itself are not nuclear state. It does not have nuclear weapons. But yet again, I cannot know for sure. Maybe US has some nuclear warheads that can be fitted in a cruise missile like Taurus. Same warhead can be fitted, for example, I guess, into US cruise missiles, for example, in Tomahawk, possibly. But yet again, military expert I have to be military expert to know for sure. I think yes, they can carry nuclear weapons, but I cannot know for sure. Let's go through some comments here. Once again, dear friends, thank you all for your attention, for participating in the stream, for comments and questions. And question from Philippa C. Levan, was there any reaction to Biden's State of Union speech? He said he won't walk away from Ukraine war. Well, that was, that was slap, isn't it? He was thinking to say something different. But yes, Russian media outlets pay some attention to his union address, but not really this, too much attention. I did share several news, I believe, in previous updates about some of his statements, but me personally, I did not watch it. I have no interests in whatever Biden has to say, because it's obvious that Biden is making no decisions. It's some other people, and it's better spent if you will try to learn what these other people are thinking in a leadership of current leadership of US that may have some real influence on the situation. But when it comes to Biden, sorry, but this is probably, at least on my memory, first president who is whose statements don't really interest me at all. I mean, I just don't care what he has to say. And same attitude was in Russia. Some media outlets, of course, because they are media outlets, have to pick some topics from his speech and report about it, because after all, he's the president of US. But I mean, he is not generating like good press, really, or big interest towards his statements, because you know, that's reality. I mean, even in US, nobody cares about Biden, man. Why should we care here? So yes, there was some interest, but not really much. James Silver is asking, should Russia cut all ties with the West? No. If I'm on emotions, if something happened and I just read some news and I'm angry, I may say yes, let's cut all the ties. But that would be emotional statement. But if we are just discussing topic, then of course not. Of course not, because one way or another, of course not today, not tomorrow, and not even in 1 or 2 years' time, but at some point, of course, Moscow and major capitals in the West will start rebuilding whatever was destroyed during these times, to reach at least working level of relationships, and it will be a little bit easier to do this if there is at least some relationships between the sides, some ties still in place or left without being destroyed. So no, if we are talking about from practical point of view, without any emotions, then no, Russia should keep its ties with the West as much as possible, really, as much as possible. Why should Russia cut itself from the West, which is a immensely important part of this world as any other region? It's the Western ruling elites that want to isolate West from Russia, from emerging multipolar world. But why should we do the same? No. More ties between Russia and Western states, the better. This is practical approach. I mean, some people may disagree with me, but I believe that disagreement will be based more on emotional decision-making process. But in practical terms, yes, I mean, why should we cut all the ties? It will make world even more dangerous. So let's see questions. Bencher Dent is commenting, come on guys, hit the like button, it helps in making this video viral. Thank you for your support. If you can, dear friends, it's 120 of us right now on the stream. I can see it, 121. Please, if you can, click that like button. Maybe algorithm will maybe it will have some influence on algorithm, and more members of our community will receive a notification, or maybe new members will join our community. Question. Kiran Tucker is asking, who would be more embarrassing to have as a leader, Trudeau or Biden? Oh, that's some heavy question, really. I mean, both are quite bad leaders, really. But Trudeau, at least, I mean, understands what he's talking about. Biden is clearly losing it, and it just don't looks good. It's not good for US. This elderly man is abused, really. So I don't know, man. I would not vote for any of them. That's for sure. But they are equally bad in different ways, but both are quite bad. 10, 15, 20 years ago, Canada was, and many people will agree with me, probably, at least in my opinion, my personal opinion, Canada was a prime example of how country should operate. That's the impression that I had about Canada. Just recently, like 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I remember whenever there was some talks about Canada that everybody was talking about in such a tone that Canada should be #1 in the world, place to live for citizen. And then things change very rapidly. And last 5-7 years, as we are receiving more information about what is going on in Canada, it's wow. It's like a totally different country that I was thinking, Canada is. Especially when this pandemic happened and how government of Canada acted. That was crazy, man. And, question... question. Well, members of our community are writing that, well, they are also seems like quite disappointed with developments in Canada. And I can understand this because, as I said, by the way, if you ask me 20 years ago about state where life is most comfortable from all, I don't know, 190 or whatever countries are in this world, I will say probably Canada as #1 country where living is probably most comfortable for citizens. And if you ask me now, I would not even think about Canada to name top 10 even. I hope I'm mistaken and things in Canada are much greater than we are receiving information, but that's how it looks from outside. So, questions, dear friends? Sorry if I miss any question. So... do you have the total question from Grim44? Do you have the total for the Patriot batteries destroyed so far? I cannot give you right now exact number, but just a few days ago 2 batteries were destroyed. In total, well, I just cannot remember right now, but I guess it's 5, maybe 7. I just don't know. But quite often we were receiving some reports about destruction of Patriot batteries, usually in the Kiev direction, because that's where Patriot batteries were deployed. But recently, for whatever reason, Kiev regime redeployed those Patriots closer to the line of contact, and now those Patriots are destroyed in frontline regions. But if you ask me total number, I just don't know. A few days ago, at least 2 Patriot batteries were destroyed. Some of the, Patriot batteries is not just one vehicle, it's like plenty of vehicles, isn't it? Many vehicles, launchers, radar, and some support vehicles and so on. So a few days ago, there were launchers of at least 2 batteries were destroyed. And to replace those launchers, Forbes reporting that it will take from several months to several years for so. Betram Most Butcher is asking question: who will you vote for in Russia, Levan? Well, if I go to the polls, by the way, so yes, today, last several days, I mean, me and my wife, we had a conversation several times. Are we going to vote? And the point is that we are registered as voters in North Ossetia, Alania. And here to vote, we have to go to the... I mean, it can be done online also, I guess. We have to register it again here in Moscow region. We are now registered here as citizens in Moscow region, but to register as a voter also, you have to undergo some other procedure. At least that's what my wife told me. I don't really... I was not really interested in that stuff. And, well, I guess yesterday or today was... I mean, one of these days was last day when you could register in other region if you want to vote in other region. And I guess now we could not vote. I can vote if I will go in North Ossetia, Alania, but I will not do it because it's just too expensive. For me, too expensive otherwise. But if I was voting, by the way, I don't know. I said quite a number of times before that if any of the candidates come up and say that they will make crimes in corruption crimes as a treason, I will vote for them, for that candidate. But none of the four candidates. It's Putin, one candidate. Second is from Communist Party. Third is from Slutsky is from LDPR party, and there is a fourth candidate from New People's Party. I cannot give you his name. Well, among these candidates, by the way, I don't know. I mean, who you gonna vote? And by the way, there is also an additional point. Russia is in conflict right now. West is waging proxy war against Russia, and during these hard times, I don't think change of leadership is a good idea when it comes to state level. And therefore, if there was a really serious competition, probably I will vote for Putin. If there was any question, will he win or not? Because he, during his presidency, this conflict has started, and I believe he is better prepared to end this conflict on Russian terms. So yes, therefore, if there was a real competition, I will vote for Putin, I guess. And one reason would be that, I mean, he has to finish what has been started during his presidency, and but because there is no competition, by the way, Putin is extremely popular, not just in Russia, but in worldwide, then I don't, it don't really even matters if I will go and vote for anybody there. He will receive at least, I don't know, man, 65% of votes, at least. Just mark my words, by the way. Second will be candidate from communists, I guess. Third will be candidate from LDPR, Slutsky. And on fourth place will be this candidate from what is the name? Новые люди, New People's Party. So yes, I would not vote in this election because, as I said, I missed this date while I had to register it here in Moscow region as a voter, and I'm definitely not going into North Ossetia, Alania to vote. That's for sure. So let's go through some chat. Oh, that's an interesting question. Nidish Kumar is asking, when will S-550 become operational? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, dear friend. 500 is operational. S-500. Only air defense system right now in the world that has missiles, hypersonic missiles to intercept hypersonic targets. There is no other air defense system like S-500, and when it comes to S-550, I have no idea about it. I did not know even if there was any work. Probably there was on S-550 or maybe S-600 even, but I just don't know. These are very specific topics that you have to be military expert and very deep into this military stuff to have additional information about. Let's go through some question. Zarael is asking a question. Hello, Zarael. Nice to see you here. Question: does the party of Navalny exist? If so, are they still running? No, Navalny never had a party, really. I believe he was a member of this group, FBK, that was their name, I believe, FBK, and they were not really party. They were acting like some activists, and Navalny was acting like an activist. They had some regular videos out on platforms. Formally, they were fighting for against corruption, and Navalny was charged. By the way, one of the charges that he has was exactly about corruption. And we all know that this topic of corruption have been used by assets of the Western ruling elites everywhere in this world. One of the first topics that Western assets, plant Western assets in this country or that country are using is corruption, fight against corruption. And Navalny was not any difference. And everything that was happening here with Navalny and his group, I saw many years earlier in Georgia, when US funded these NGOs were start running around during the Shevardnadze reign. So to me personally, I mean, it was clear like a day what was going on. Many people may only later on realize what was happening, but to me, I just saw it several years ago, earlier in Georgia. In Georgia, they succeed, by the way. In Georgia, these Western-run NGOs eventually succeed, and they managed to put Saakashvili in power, and that was disaster for Georgia. But in Russia, thanks God, this Navalny and the rest of this group was unsuccessful, and Russia is standing strong. So they never had any party, I believe. And right now, recently, I hear information that these so-called supporters of Navalny are using social media platforms and calling people to vote for any candidate except Putin, against Putin, and then for any of these other three. I don't think many people gonna listen to them. Really, Navalny was never really popular activist, or call it politician if you want, here in Russia. So, I mean, and his supporters are even less popular. So no matter what they're gonna call, what they're gonna do, it will change nothing. Unfortunately, Western ruling elites will, of course, use this group that used to be associated with Navalny to somewhat destabilize situation in Russia, but they don't have in Georgia, by the way, they succeed because they managed to establish media, their control over the media outlets, several media outlets, and therefore they propagandize, they indoctrinate a significant part of societies. But in Russia, it's a different story. They don't have a really powerful media machine to indoctrinate more people, and therefore they have no chance. But they will be used undoubtedly to somehow destabilize situation in Russia. I have no doubts about it. Let's go through some question. Z12IT is asking, Levan, do you know if the difficult situation of the Russian Black Sea Fleet is discussed, and they are concerned about the possibility of entering of the Western warships into the Black Sea? When it comes to Western warships in the Black Sea, it's not happening because according to agreement, it's Montreux Convention, isn't it? During the military conflict in the Black Sea region, Turkey is not allowed to let any warship to enter Black Sea. And Turkish government made quite a number of times statements that they're not gonna change anything in this regard. They're gonna act according to Montreux Convention, and no Western, Eastern, or whatever warship will enter Black Sea while this conflict is in is happening. And when it comes to situation for the Black Sea Fleet, I'm quite sure Putin has discussion about this topic. That's why most likely just about like week ago, isn't it? Week or two ago, there was changes in the leadership of Black Sea Fleet, and now we have this unconfirmed yet information that head of Russian Navy was also replaced, which also may have some connection with the Black Sea Fleet. Possibly that's the case, but when it comes to NATO warships entering Black Sea, it's not happening. I don't see even slight chance that Turkey will allow, Turkey will break Montreux Convention and allow military vessels to enter Black Sea. It's just not, it's not happening. Jimpa Sat Rotary is asking, Levan, please read my question. Where is the question then? Sorry, dear friends, I may miss question. Which question should I read? I mean, oh, dear friends. And by the way, let me check here. Nothing here, and let me check here. Nothing here, so okay. Okay, let's continue. Sorry, dear friends, I had to check Buy Me Coffee and the donation alerts for questions. There is nothing there. So, I mean, dear friend, which question? I mean, can you write once again your question? I would see then, I guess. Trust me, dear friends, it's not always easy to be focused on the chat and don't to miss any question. I was just now reading question and I lost it. Literally like few seconds ago, there was question about Nuland or reaction in Russia on the removal of Nuland. Oh, I find it. So Tusomir is asking, how did Moscow reacted to ouster of Nuland? Do you think China hawks will take over in the US. Oh, in second part of the question, I will say 100%. No doubts about that. Anti-Chinese ideology gonna become mainstream ideology in US in fairly short time, I believe. And when it comes to Nuland itself, I guess she was replaced by China hawks, someone that is that has quite stronger opinion about China and relationships between US and China. So yes, in the second part of the question, it's inevitable, I guess, that US will be more and more focused on confrontation with China. At this point, it's a Cold War, and let's hope this Cold War will never enter hot stage. And when it comes to Moscow's reaction on Nuland, yet again, I mean, of course, no one has any respect for Nuland here in Russia, but high-ranking Russian officials did not even comment. I did not see that high-ranking Russian officials commented on it. So Moscow just, I will say, ignored that topic, although media, of course, reacted on it, and media remember role of Nuland in destruction of Ukraine since 2014, by the way, when she was walking around Maidan and giving those cookies to those extremists there. Question: do you think Russia will escalate with NATO in submarine escalation? I think Russia will do its best. I think Russian government will do its best not to escalate with NATO, to maintain peace and not allow extremist forces in the leadership of Western world to provoke direct full-scale conflict between Russia and NATO. It all depends, yet again, on actions of the Western ruling elites. I mean, only so much can Russian leadership tolerate, isn't it? Only so much. And right now, as I said in the beginning, responsibility for this world lays on the shoulders of Russian leadership, because we clearly see that Western leadership don't really cares about anything. They are escalating with Russia if there is no tomorrow, while I guess not really realizing how devastating consequences might be if conflict will enter hot stage between Russia and NATO. So let's hope Moscow will manage with these calm, pragmatic policies to keep this world safe. And I guess that's how it's gonna be, man. I don't even want to think about possibility that there might be some nuclear exchange between Russia and NATO, because it will devastate the entire world. So I want to be more optimistic and say that, you know what, yes, Western leadership, they are crazy people, undoubtedly. This political class in the West seems like are really out of touch with reality, many members of that class, but hopefully Russian leadership is acting in pragmatic ways, and at least for now that's enough to keep this world out of nuclear war. So I don't think Russia will escalate with NATO. There is no need for that. It's NATO will basically, at one point, NATO will be forced to realize that they lost this proxy war against Russia, like they realized that they lost in Afghanistan not so long ago. And once this realization will settle in, I think proxies of the West in Ukraine, that proxy regime will collapse as fast as Afghanistan proxy regime in Afghanistan collapsed. just in a week's time, isn't it? That's how it might happen. Question. How long is this update? Oh, it's more than an hour, by the way, now, so... Auracraft is asking, please introduce Chiburashka. Chiburashka. Oh, Chiburashka. By the way, this is Chiburashka. For many of you may not be familiar with this creature. It's a hero. It's a cartoon hero of Soviet era, popular cartoon hero, and recently a movie was made about Chiburashka here in Russia. Very popular movie, by the way. It beat some records in revenues, that movie, and well, quite nice, hero there. So yes, it's from Soviet cartoon. Chiburashka и Crocodile Gena. There is also crocodile, by the way, in this cartoon. There are Chiburashka and crocodile, and some other actors also in that movie. But Chiburashka become unbelievably popular because of that cute look, I guess, because crocodile, even though in that cartoon crocodile is a positive hero, crocodiles probably are perceived as a scary animals by people, and for whatever reason, crocodile Gena did not become as popular as Chiburashka. Something not about politics, by the way. So let's go through some questions, and Michael Kennedy is asking what happened to Gonzalo Lira's body. Did he have a funeral? Until I don't know really. I mean, it's probably his family received his body, and there was funeral. Although just just with family members only, because I believe Gonzalo Lira was a public figure, but not his family members. So that's the case, probably, although hard to know because I did not see any information on that. Z12IT is asking, Levan, how is the Taurus threat discussed in Russia? If there will be a serious attack with these cruise missiles on Russian high-value targets, will Russia retaliate on German base? Well, that's very dangerous stuff, by the way. That's very dangerous stuff. I said quite a number of times that only so much Moscow can tolerate. And at some point, if Western ruling elites will continue this constant increase of level of escalation with Moscow, at some point, Russian leaders may find themselves in kind of corner when there is no other options but to use some extreme force. Let's hope it will never happen, but Taurus missiles, because of the range of those missiles, definitely can be seen as a potential threat that deployment of those missiles can provoke immense escalation on the battlefield. I don't think Russia will target Germany. I don't think so, but at least militarily. But Moscow will definitely. Options of Moscow definitely will become significantly limited if Kiev regime starts targeting Russian cities with the Taurus missiles. And of course, it's formally, yes, it's gonna be Kiev regime, but in reality, it's gonna be German military personnel that will use, that will operate with those missiles. So I don't want to go in that rabbit hole, but theoretically, if these Taurus missiles will be launched against Russian cities deep inside Russia, then Moscow may react very strongly. What that reaction will be, I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but yet again, Moscow has maybe limited, but still some options how to react in such a in terms of such developments. But when it comes to targeting Germany, no, man. I don't see a scenario in which Russia will start launching missiles towards NATO member states, left and right. No, if only if Russia and NATO will enter real full-scale confrontation, even local-scale skirmishes between Russian and the NATO member states, not gonna force Moscow to use nuclear weapons. But if Russia is under full-scale attack and if there is no other options, then yes, unfortunately, that will be one of the options that Moscow will probably consider. Hovercraft is commenting. Chiburashka puts smile on the one's face. It's a cute hero, isn't it? Yeah. And by the way, as I said, movie about Chiburashka was extremely popular in Russia. Extremely popular. It makes some unprecedented profits. Millions and millions of people went to watch this movie exactly because of the memories of our childhood, because this is Soviet era cartoon. So all of us know Chiburashka, of course. So yes. And dear friends, if I may, I will end this live stream now. Hopefully you will find this conversation interesting, useful. We had some good chats. So I will end this video now. Thank you all for your attention, and of course many thanks to all the members of our community who will watch this video later on. Have a great day, and